Abusuafo yesa mama kwa basoko kra eba counseling time with counselor DY Donkoh. Abusuafo kame ho na yema counselor akwa basoko. Papa.
Hello.
Asama edapunoniti ene eye before you say I do. Before you say I do. That is the topic for tonight. Adia Yesu ya huadie. Na ansa na no me de dinka ne be hyase na me de abo. Say, when is the I do moment? Is it during a relationship or when the vows is being taken? Fire call.
This question can be answered in two versions.
Right.
Two separate ways.
Right.
Okay, so even before we go to stand on the altar to say, I, Daniel Donkoh, I do take Valerie Mensah as my. Before then, the first I do is when you accepted the proposal of the guy or the proposal of the lady. It depends on who is proposing. That's why I'm using the two. But normally, men propose. But women, you just have to accept or receive or say yes.
Yeah.
And so the first thing we need to understand is that the yes I do start from when you said yes to the guy. The day you said yes to the guy, in fact, in a way, you are no more yourself.
Okay.
Now you need to change a lot of things when it comes to the pattern of your life. So and also another I do. But and yet I do as Sabimeka say, I am more critical, crucial, and serious, like when you appear before the altar. The first I do, you accept it yourself. And then we go through moments where we think at a point we are okay with ourselves. Then this one is not just about you. It's about you, your church, your community, your family. Everybody is included. And so when we talk about before and after I do, we are just talking about the day you accepted somebody's proposal and also when the relationship, by God's grace, graduated from relationship to marriage. So the both I do in are critical.
Nature said can be classified as a moment at I do.
Yes, yes, please. Yes, please.
Nature says, "Sisiano, we say before you say I do." Right now, Mama Matias say they are all critical.
Yes, please.
And they are all they can all be classified as an I do moment.
Okay, so let me come in.
Right.
Before you accept someone's proposal, you need to do a lot of analysis about yourself. You need to sit, have a plan, take decision. You need to have good intentions. In other words, for yourself to think by, okay, what's me pay? Do I think I'm ready for this journey? Do I think he's the kind of person I'm looking forward for? Do I also think he's fit for my future? Is he the kind of person I think I can spend the rest of my life with? The next 40, 50 years of my life with? Is he somebody I think that he has to be able to help the two of us to get to where we want to get to? Do I even see them in my dreams? And so when you sit to have all this, moments of thinking, to be able to say yes, then you need to understand that you made the hard decision by accepting them. So just even by accepting them into your life, you're already saying I do.
Okay.
Because now if I propose to you and you are not saying yes to me, I cannot have a way in your life.
True.
You can decide to listen to me, my words, and reject or listen to my words and then keep it. It's a choice. But once you say yes, most definitely, most of the time, most of the things I say, you say yes.
Okay.
So in a way, once you say yes to my proposal, I am what the crown, you've lost your will.
Yeah.
Open baby so better. Maybe I will pee. Maybe I'll pensa. Maybe I'll pen now for far. Maybe I will dress me. Once you say yes to me, most of the things definitely will change because maybe I'm not men on men pensa. And so when we talk about before and after, I do now. One, when you accept someone's proposal, I do. And then also when you appear before God, church, event center, once this exchange of vows, goes on, is also I do.
So what do we have to do? Nature say at the end what's it nipa ye? Because the clause neka say before you say I do, nature said there are certain things that you have to take into consideration
Thank you, please.
before you actually accept the I do moment? Normal ben and normal ben sana ususu say what's here.
Okay, so number one, and you know what's here and say you need to understand that before you say yes, I do, there is more into I love you than just the 3 words. I love you is not enough.
Okay.
I need to sit and look at I love you. In I love you, who are you? In I love you, can I identify myself with him or her?
Okay.
In I love you, do I think I have a bright future with him or her? And so, number one, the first thing you need to do is to ask yourself, I love you is not enough. What again am I looking for? So, number one, I wrote here, I said, there is much more to this 3 words, I love you. So, don't just conclude by saying, I love him or her so much, so the rest I don't care. Love alone is always not enough. Number 2, if you want to have a journey with somebody, please change yourself first.
Okay.
So before you appear before the altar, or even before you accept someone's proposal, the question is, have you changed your habits, your character, and your attitude? Have you worked on yourself enough to say yes to somebody so that you don't enter into a relationship with somebody waiting to say I do, and then you are frustrating your own self and somebody's daughter or son?
Change yourself. Are we changing for the better or for bad? Are we changing to suit somebody's taste, or we are changing for ourselves?
You change for yourself. The greatest influence in life is to change for yourself.
So we are changing for the better?
For the better. So, for example, you are a quick-tempered person. You are very emotional. You are a habitual liar. There's something about you that you know that this thing doesn't help me. Change. Because if you don't change, you cannot enjoy any journey with anybody. It is either what you've not changed frustrate them, or they frustrate you to change. And so if you are not planning of changing, don't say yes to anybody. Right. So work on yourself very well. Make sure you change very well before. I'm not saying be perfect, but what will cost you is something you need to deal with.
Okay.
So I'm saying that before you appear before the altar to say yes, I do, change yourself.
See.
Open mouth, change yourself. Oh, you're true for, change yourself. See, these things I'm saying, change. If you don't change, it will change you.
Wow.
If you don't change, it will change you. A lot of people are now blaming their partners. Their partners are not the problem. It is what they didn't change has changed them, or has changed them.
Papa, change. Forever journey. Nipa no na ne bebo bra kosi awie.
Yes, please.
It's a change, you know. Is the person's ideologies also welcomed in the moment of change?
I don't change to please you, but I need to understand that if I change and it will help us move on well, then I need to change. I am not changing because you said I should change. I'm changing for a better person, the good version of myself. Now, me no never wade, and I'm missing some in my page. One ever born I am and you. Now, so about one Mr. Dachima Menya Suji or do and you will blow on change because I've changed. Once you change, everybody wants to have you around. Once you don't change, nobody wants to entertain a person who is not ready to change. Are you getting me?
Yes,
so
sir.
you are not just changing for the relationship. You are also not just changing because of the marriage. You are changing because when you change, it will help you to, improve on yourself as a changed person.
Okay.
So change is, you see, there's something about change. Once you are growing, your mind is developing. You're afraid to change.
Okay.
Your body is developing. You're afraid to change.
Okay.
Yourself, your character, your attitude and behavior must change. If you grow and not change, you are still not growing.
Okay.
And life is all about growth that is connected to change. So change. So I wrote here, I said, please change yourself first before you appear on the altar and say, I do. The next thing we want to talk about, overcome your emotions and master yourself. So open so wade. Nandi be ma bobra oba o se na ma blue no. Open so wade. na ne bema ne oba bobra, you cannot be self-pity.
You can't just be pitying yourself.
Be there be an araho. Be big to be na show. Be a new raw akuma, you will die.
Yeah.
No, you can't. Marriage is a journey of accommodating one another and also adjusting to someone's weakness. I am not perfect. You are not perfect. But we want to get somewhere. What do? We need to find a way. Can two work together except they agree? In the day of cold, because we are two, one can hit the other. So much that even when a lion decides to attack one, because there is another person, there can be defense. What am I saying? Please, what I am saying is that I am begging you, if you don't overcome your emotions, you cannot find yourself in anybody's love. If I embrace you into my heart, and then you decide that you will never ever overcome your emotions, you reject yourself from my emotions. You cannot identify yourself when there's no flow with me. You've not been able to work on your emotions. My emotions will reject your emotions, and your emotions will reject my emotions. Why? Because negative emotions cannot work with positive emotions.
Okay.
And you realize that Obira Wadiema and Obira relationship man and also be to be I don't to be but they don't care. Sometimes the people care, but you demand so much from their emotions.
It's true.
You are draining their emotions, and nobody wants to be drained emotionally. It is either you add up or we sustain the little we have. So when I wrote here about before and after I said I said, please, I beg you, there is something you got to do. Overcome your emotions.
Okay.
Hey, now who is a perfect, communicator in this world? Who is apart from God? Tell me who communicates so well that in his speech he has never offended anybody. And I will tell you the person is dead. There is no one. There is no one apart from God who is a perfect man. Now also now you're too emotional, too sensitive, too petty. Be big now. And so when you are too emotional and you cannot deal with your emotions, I beg you, you can't say I do. Because tough people live in tough times and endure tough times. Okay, our day. And that is why marriage is one of the most tricky decisions you ever make. You are getting it wrong. You can make a decision to get a job and decide to quit at any time. But marriage, once you enter, it takes only the grace of God. A decision of a lifetime, a decision that can turn your life around to be good or bad, a decision that can kill you or give you life. It's not something to play with.
True.
If you're not ready to work on your emotions, take control over your emotions, master your emotions, don't ever walk to the altar to say, I do, because you are not there.
All right. The
next thing we want to talk about before you say I do on the altar, please, I beg you, get financially stable. Baby, you can't say yes, you can. You can't say you private jet. You can't say you sassy. You can't say you dying. Name of the can say PBB.
Okay.
Who will be ya? Who you will be? Unishi ya one ya yembu. A lot of women and men are not respected in relationships and in marriages because they are doing nothing and they have nothing to do.
Okay.
When financially you are not sound, you can lose a kind of respect.
Some more.
Yeah, but you need to do something. I said, maybe I need a change because you have to tell me my now we say, what does he do? What does he live for? And what is he living for? If he's living for nothing, I'm sorry, you can't survive for anything. At least Bosomiswa, be before my yemu, yet me chia bills. Now, when you what if you are there, God will provide it. Now, make sure say, hey, yes, now what do? Unless you are frustrated. So, Kelly, financially be stable. So when I say stable, I mean that it can be one CD, but at least you know that I have it.
There should be a source of income. Baby, unyeska efri.
Kakra.
Eba.
Yenkase be bree. But at least kakra ba me nye bitu aduane. E de bitu light bill, water bill. So yentimi into assassin si ye dan ya. Ne rent ya. 2 years in this 1 year this one. E wa mra ye mra ne nsesa ye say ye into 6 months or monthly dia. Na 2 years ne beja ye ka etiboma 2 years bia we are not frustrated. We are able to settle these bills. No matter how you love somebody, if you are not financially stable, confusion, depression, stress, anxiety, insult will never depart. Because when people are depressed and stressed, they want to express themselves through their emotions. Nyame self-control. Some of them can never share what they know. So by a singular, the suban bi nku. Or wadia is suban bi nku. Na owa the suban bi nku. These are the abilities a woman has. So oba na nkwala 3, 2, 4, 5. She is able to take care of them without going to school to educate herself about how to raise the kids.
Sure.
Watch it too. Nkwala 3 ba ko shele chi ba ko kran ba obedware o ma show mu nyina we and how they do it, leave them for men. But look at a woman, they are able to German 1 week. They are able to accommodate the stress.
True.
The pain of the obesha kwala na dwaruma de da mama we yediane omo ye to scrot ma we nufo no omo we nufo no dware we no dwa ebu okra na asa cat no so but still cat ni na chi no to na we no show be ma na cat na ka ba no do kwala ni show ma no omo ye so no si ye twa me nkro do operation kwala no ma me obo disturb na me ntrefia ha no be ma bi kro to bi ka say tina me ntam be fi ntem no because kola no ma hadwen e dia ba ya bra say ni pada no but the woman will still go to work, come, still raise, help them do them. Or I don't know what's sa na sum we as nyame aye mema.
My goodness.
And mema, we have this spirit that makes us leaders.
True.
Ye yisika everything by ye be.
Sure.
Yes, you was a capability, that gift, that ability to take care of the house. Tina be makro ni ska obehwe fia. Na bibi ye no. Because ofi
onfa nya ne ho.
Eti tumi wo be man sem wo sika or hwem mofra na that is our pride. True. That is our grace of leadership. Sa so wo ba or anwode a wode be hwe ne ma or hwem, that is her pride. That is her leadership. Eswoche na onu be sika encho bebre because she is not born to rule.
True.
We are the lions. They are the lioness. Thank you. Please, Obabia Oka, before you say I do, and after I find something stable to do, make sure financially you are stable.
Yeah.
We are not saying go and steal and get plenty, but make sure say you do something so that you can contribute a little. Please remember that you cannot change anyone, including someone. Never try to change anyone. No. Do not hold up your hopes or effort to do so. Hopes and effort to do so. What do I want you to say? Mr. Sam Valerie. The cocoon, me, Mr. Sam Warren, Mr. Sam Warren, Mr. Sam Warren. In an attempt that you're worrying one, Obesisa. I keep telling people, don't make an effort to risk that people will change. No, it's not easy like that. I know she will change. I know he will change. I am making every effort. A big compile, a big ya coaching. A big cantons, a big mosque. I know one day he will change. If the one day doesn't come now and it comes after 10 years, what do you live? Who do you live with? God is the one who determines when people change. That is if God wants to touch him. Now you be decided the next 10 years. Also worry no after no 3 years. I cast 7. Oben do attempt 7 years. Oben 7 years. Ombu 7 years. Can you endure it?
Right.
Can you handle it?
Right.
Don't. So I wrote it, I said, even before you go to the altar to say I do, please remember that marriage is not fun and game.
Right.
Try to have this. See, when you put too much effort to change people, at a point you become depressed. Especially when they are never changing. So why do you risk, even when you are courting, it didn't change? Putting in a lot of effort, trying that somebody should change. Meanwhile, only at 85 years once a sign. What is the possibility that you will still change when you marry them? So for me, before Maka, yes,
Right.
As I do alternational, please, if you think that they are never changing, it's not easy, but you need to work out. It will be better to work out now than to stay and die. And a lot of people are dead emotionally, but alive in the physical. And that is the most dangerous. Do not make a long-term decision, that is marriage, based on a temporary feeling.
Right.
Don't do that. It's how I feel now, I love you so much. And I think looking at the way I love him or her, I think that I'm okay. Because a lot of people believe that once you love them, love conquers all things.
Sure.
But your love, woman. Sister, I conquer all things. Ya boy assume my love and you conquer all things. Love conquer multitude of sin. Which one is the sin you are talking about? When the person draws a knife and threatens to kill you, you are telling me that love conquers multitude of sin? No. Don't make temporary decisions by looking at the now, just now, to say, me do so much. You don't do that. When you enter into a relationship, look at a permanent, the next 40 years of my life, this guy, would I, is it possible? Permanent decision. So don't look at the love you have for him and then just make decisions and say, like you're saying, I don't care. I am the madam.
Yeah.
You are the madam, but emotionally you can die as a madam. And be buried as a madam.
99% enough, it would do 0%.
Thank you.
Sure.
And then suddenly you realize that love alone is not enough.
Okay.
The next thing I wrote, I said, relationships changed after marriage.
Hey, sir.
Oh, yes.
Well, and I almost say the more your relationship, and one more our
yeah. Oh, wow, for no school fees, Saba. Now, more rented than Mutia over 10,000 Ghana. Okay, so we grow in relationships.
Right.
Levels and stages.
That's
so what happens is that, yeah, chimpana. I'm talking about the courtship level. Can say why I do first one. I have accepted your proposal. The process, the training, what we encounter, the challenges when we marry, we graduate to another level. It comes to another challenge. So when you are in a relationship, the challenges cannot be compared to when you are married. The challenges here are quite different. And the gap is big, they're huge. Hey, it's a huge gap, a big. The gap, anybody who's married will tell you that the challenges you meet, and you need to depend when you are married.
Right.
Why? Because in marriage, a lot of things are expected of you. The demand increases so much that if you don't take care, you'll be hanging in with frustration. So the truth is that relationship change after marriage. It's what we say, ye diagro, ya want to see ye diagro, ya bon komo, but this expectation be high. Because say now we are two together. First not if you MTV. Expectation wasn't two. Now we are living together. What's up? What next? Now I need to change a lot of things to suit you so that I can make adjustment for you to feel comfortable.
Okay.
Me obi a me socks me bomb. Those are so coming fee. Now your we can't accommodate that. So somebody expectation is going to rise to be up.
Okay.
But you also want to say.
Right.
So you need to understand that things changes when you marry. Okay. And the last one I may share. Your husband or your wife is never going to complete your life just because you are married to them.
Okay.
Is it true? I wrote you, I said that a lot of people see marriage as a destination without understanding that marriage itself is a journey. Sister, bruh, before you say I do and after you say I do, please understand that marriage does not complete you. Obi wadepe enchilese we. There is more you need to do to make yourself more complete. Is it not wonderful that somebody can marry you and then along the line decide to regret getting married to you?
Sure.
And there are so many people who are complete. They feel completed. They feel fulfilled. Simply because of his what they are. After marriage, what is expected of you and from you is too much. Ebiana ye twempra me no wonda ye nambum say ya wade ye bedabum sa hwan kromo sa marriage
Right.
So what happens to you? So don't conclude by saying that marriage completes you.
Okay.
There are things you need to do to make yourself complete. And listen, if you know how to sell yourself, you know how to buy yourself. Thank you.